with the Christmas Eve Tea Time News, Rita Chakrabarti.
Good afternoon. President Zelensky has signalled he would be willing to negotiate with Russia about territory to bring about an end to the war in Ukraine. An updated draft 20-point peace plan agreed by US and Ukrainian officials includes the possibility of troops being withdrawn from the Donbas region in the east of the country. Moscow is currently reviewing the plan. Samira Hussain reports now from Kiev.
Another night, another Russian airstrike. This video, released by Ukraine's emergency services from the southeastern city of Zaporizhia, shows buildings set alight in a residential part of the city. Tatiana lives nearby and heard the explosion. It was horrible, she says. We were waiting to receive assistance. It was so frightening. We ran into the corridor and stayed there for a while. In the light of day, residents show what's left of their homes. Broken glass and debris littered everywhere. In his Christmas address, Ukraine's president reacted to this latest attack.
On Christmas Eve, the Russians once again showed who they really are. Massive attack, hundreds of Shahed drones, ballistics, daggers, it was all there. This is how atheists strike.
Today, Mr. Zelensky talked for the first time about the details of a 20-point peace plan that could form the basis of a ceasefire. The draft plan includes the option for a freeze across all the front lines, but another option, which Donald Trump has been pushing, is a so-called free economic zone. But that could only happen if both Russia and Ukraine pull out of the entire Donbas region, with security guarantees from the US, NATO, and Europe for a coordinated military response if Russia invades again. But wider territorial issues remain unresolved.
From Kyiv's perspective, this is a very workable plan. Now the ball is in Moscow's court. But Mr. Putin has never really given any indication that he's willing to settle for anything less than the entire Donbas region.
Ukrainian soldiers on the front line, being blessed on this Christmas Eve, and hoping this is the last holiday marred by war. Samira Hussain, BBC News, Kyiv.
2 British campaigners have been barred from entering the US because of their work against online hate and disinformation. They're among 5 people to be denied visas after the State Department accused them of trying to coerce American tech platforms into suppressing free speech. Our correspondent Greg McKenzie is with me. So who are the people affected, Greg, and what's behind this move by the US government?
Well, Rita, it's 2 Britons targeted. They are Imran Ahmed, head of the Centre of Countering Digital Hate, and Claire Melford, who is the chief executive of a company called Global Disinformation Index. Now, the US claims that they've sought to pressure American tech companies and advertisers into suppressing lawful speech and calling them part of a global effort to censor US online platforms. Now, the reaction in Europe has been furious. France's President Emmanuel Macron has launched a blistering attack, accusing Washington of intimidation and coercion and pointing its right to regulate these tech firms, including recent fines against them under EU law. Now, in terms of the UK, the response here has been a little bit less, it's been more cautious. Ministers say that supporting free speech while backing efforts to tackle harmful online content is ongoing. And there's ongoing tensions between the Trump and Starmer administrations in relation to this as to where you draw the line with regards to online hate and censorship in terms of social media.
Greg, thank you very much. A 13-year-old British boy has been stabbed to death in Portugal. He's been named locally as Alfie Hallett. Portuguese police say a suspect was found with similar injuries and that a man died in a possible gas explosion at a house. They say the suspect is the former partner of the boy's mother. The number of flu cases in England and Scotland started to fall earlier this month, according to new figures. Hospital admissions in England went down last week, but health professionals say that people still need to be cautious, and they're urging pregnant women in particular to get their flu vaccinations. They say that mothers-to-be and babies are at a higher risk of falling seriously ill from the virus. England's Ben Stokes says this is the most difficult period of his captaincy as his team face allegations of excessive drinking during the Ashes tour in Australia. The fourth test gets underway on Boxing Day in Melbourne, with England having already lost the series. Andy Swiss has more.
England's players looked relaxed as they trained in Melbourne, but it's their relaxation off the pitch that's been making headlines.
Ben Duckett.
Yeah, plenty of people know me.
Reports of excessive drinking and a video appearing to show batter Ben Duckett slurring his words during a tour trip to Queensland earlier this month. But as Duckett practiced with the rest of the players today, their captain called for empathy with his squad under the spotlight.
My main thing right now as England captain is making sure that everyone's okay. And, you know, I know firsthand what this can actually make you feel like. I've had some pretty good times over my career. I've also had some pretty tough times. And at first, you know, this is probably the toughest time right now as an England captain that I'll have. But, you know, I ain't going to run away from it.
The players' behaviour during that beach break is now being investigated by England. Their travelling fans have some sympathy, but it's limited.
It doesn't look good when we're 3-0 down. That's the problem. If we were 3-0 up, it'd be fine, wouldn't it?
They need time off, but they should be discreet about it. Yeah. And in their position, they should know where to go and where not to go.
To let the hair down one night can be expected. Not every night.
Not every night, no.
But just
we
give
can
them
do every night,
a bit of leeway. Yeah, give them a bit of leeway.
And in another blow for England, they'll be without the injured Jofra Archer. 3-0 down and now missing a star player. They'll be hoping this ill-fated tour can't get any worse. Andy Swiss, BBC News.
An advert on the website of the train company ScotRail, which said that customers could get the cheapest tickets and would be unbeatable on price, has been found to be misleading. The Advertising Standards Authority said there wasn't enough evidence to back up the claim. ScotRail says it's changed the wording. Thousands of worshippers and tourists have gathered in Bethlehem for celebrations leading up to midnight mass at the Church of the Nativity. The Palestinian city in the occupied West Bank is celebrating the occasion at the place where the Bible says Jesus was born for the first time since the beginning of the war in Gaza. Now, today, as for the last 70 years, children all over the world have been watching Santa on his rounds on Christmas Eve with the help of the NORAD tracker run by the North American Aerospace Defense Command. But few people know that it began with a simple misprint on a department store advert back in the 1950s. Fiona Landin has the story.
Whether you know him as Father Christmas, Santa, or even St. Nick, many of us have been busy making sure our wish lists were in on time.
To Santa, please get me some roller skates and a Merry Christmas. To Santa, can I have roller skates and a Lego set?
It looks like Santa is delivering presents to the good boys and girls of Shanghai, China.
With Christmas now just hours away, trackers around the world are keeping a very close eye on Father Christmas as he makes his way across the globe.
NORAD is able to keep pinpoint accuracy on the heat signature from Rudolph's nose.
And over in the United States, their Aerospace Defense Command is once again using its radar and satellites to chart his progress. A tradition that's been going strong for 70 years. It all began back in 1955 with a simple typo. A department store placed a newspaper advert inviting children to phone Santa. But the number was misprinted, directing callers instead to the Air Defense Command.
This is Colonel Schaub, the commander of the Combat Alert Center. Who's this? Well, now the little voice is crying. Well, is this one of Santa's helpers then? Dad finally figured out, oh, this must really be a kid. So he said, ho, 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 this is not one of Santa's helpers. This is Santa Claus. And so the kid was, oh, thank goodness, and gave him his whole Christmas list. And he said, could you bring something nice for my mommy?
And ever since, for the last 7 decades, this team has been helping children track Santa using their radar.
We have our aircraft and our radars and our satellites all positioned to track. Santa's very cooperative with us. We have pilots who have been next to him, and he'll give a wave, but he doesn't really need our help navigating. He's an expert aviator, probably the best we've seen.
Mince pies, a glass of milk. We get a special plate and we put reindeer food on the floor, and then we get some mince pies and we put our stockings up with our names on them.
Previous tracking data shows Father Christmas and his sleigh normally reach the UK late on Christmas Eve. Though remember, he'll only stop if you're asleep. Fiona Lambdin, BBC News.
And before we go and check on the weather, let's see where Santa is now. And I'm reliably told he's on his way to Turkestan. He's been Tajikistan. I'm being given all sorts of duff information here. I can reliably tell you Santa is somewhere over Asia, and there'll be many, many happy children. And it's hotter there than it is here. Chris Fawkes, it's pretty chilly here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but when Santa gets over our way, those easterly winds should help him deliver presents to our children. Now, looking at the weather picture today, we've had plenty of sunshine across southern and western areas of the UK. Here in Dorset, lovely, but with that cold wind driving the waves on shore. A lot of cloud, though, around the North Sea, coming onto eastern coastal areas into parts of eastern England, eastern Scotland, so something of a different story here. Looking at the satellite picture, we do have some clear skies over the Netherlands and Germany. They are going to slide overnight into parts of southern England and East Anglia on these cold northeasterly winds that are going to be with us, really, as we go through the whole of Christmas Day. Quite gusty winds as well in the southwest, as we'll see. Now, we've got the cloud piling in across from the North Sea, and it is thick enough to bring some spots of drizzle as well, so could see 1 or 2 of those for eastern areas of Scotland and eastern areas of England overnight. 1 or 2 patches of frost if the winds fall light. Yes, that is possible. Either way, it's a cold start to your Christmas Day. Now, we've got those sunny skies working in across southern and eastern parts of England, but for northeast England, eastern areas of Scotland, we'll probably keep a lot of cloud for most of the day. Gusty winds towards the southwest, and we do have a weather front out in the English Channel that could just push a few patches of rain towards the south coast of both Devon and Cornwall, particularly windy here. Heading into Boxing Day, still lots of dry weather, still some North Sea cloud affecting eastern coastal areas of Scotland, but for most it's dry with sunshine. The wind's not quite as strong, but it will still feel pretty cold with temperatures generally a little bit below average. Rita.
Thank you very much, Chris. And that's it from us. Now it's time for the news where you are here on BBC One. We're back at 10:35. Goodbye.
Good evening, welcome to BBC London. I'm Thomas McGill. Rail bosses are reminding passengers to plan ahead, with some stations due to close from tonight for the next few days. Liverpool Street and Waterloo stations will see the biggest disruption. Here's Bryony Williams with more details about what to expect.
It's still fairly busy here at Waterloo Station at the moment, with people making their final journeys before Christmas, perhaps a bit of shopping to do as well, but it will look very different over the next few weeks. Waterloo Station will be closed from Christmas Day until December 28th, and then reduced services right up until January the 4th. And Liverpool Street Station will also be closed. There'll be no trains running to and from Stratford from Christmas Day right up until New Year's Day. And that's all due to engineering works taking place. And if you're thinking of travelling to the northwest or Scotland, there'll be a severely reduced service and disruption from Christmas Day right up until the middle of January, as there'll be engineering works being carried out on the West Coast main line. Rail bosses say that these engineering works are vital.
period between Christmas Day and when everyone goes back to work in the new year is the quietest period on the railway. In some areas, you're talking around 50% of normal passenger numbers. So for the massive work we need to do this Christmas, for instance, if you're looking at, say, Waterloo here at Liverpool Street or on the West Coast Main Line, it absolutely is the most logical time of year to do it.
If you're travelling into London by car, there's no congestion charge from Christmas Day right up until New Year's Day. Now, Les, you get a day off on Christmas Day, but over the festive period, that will still be operational, and the low emission zone will be operational throughout the festive period too. Of course, there will be no national rail running on Christmas Day or Boxing Day. That's usual, but there will be no public transport in London on Christmas Day. Now, it's Christmas Eve at the moment, and services will be coming to a close a lot earlier today too. The advice is, as always, check before you travel.
Bryony Williams reporting there from Waterloo Station. Police are appealing for help to find a 13-year-old boy who has been missing for almost 2 weeks. Abdul was last seen leaving home in Islington on Saturday the 13th of December wearing a black tracksuit with white trainers. He hasn't been seen or heard from since. Scotland Yard say he could be in Hounslow and are asking anyone with information to come forward. Reported sexual offences on the London Underground have reached their highest level in 5 years. There were nearly 600 offences across all tube lines between 2024 and 2025, according to Transport for London. They say tackling violence against women and girls is a priority. Now, I want you to meet Penny and her dog Otis here. They are regular visitors to Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children. Their visits are especially welcomed for those in hospital over the festive period. This is their story.
People ask me all the time, what does Otis actually do at the hospital? I always say his job is to put smiles on faces. I'm Penny, and I'm a therapy dog volunteer at Great Ormond Street Hospital alongside my therapy dog, Otis. Hi, Grace. I always say the therapy works both ways. He gets massage therapy out of it as well. I've been volunteering at Great Ormond Street for almost 8 years now. I started with my therapy dog Hoover and then have been doing it with Otis for the last 4 years. The reason I started was because I wanted to give something back after my daughter was a patient here when she was a toddler.
Thank you for coming up to see us today.
How do you like having Otis and the other therapy dogs?
They help me from the pain.
He's a good distraction.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just nice to have a cuddle, isn't it?
Just have some company in the room.
What makes Otis such a good therapy dog is that he has always been incredibly chilled and very calm. This is such a positive, uplifting place. Very optimistic, very hopeful, and very joyful, and we're just a very small part of that.
And a happy Christmas to Otis and to Penny, and that takes us to the weather with Alex Dolan.
Hello, cold easterly winds will add a significant wind chill to our Christmas Day weather. Plenty of sunshine around, also some overnight frost. And although it will stay breezy this evening and there'll be some areas of cloud around, enough clear sky out there to allow our temperatures to get close to freezing as we start the day. So into tomorrow, this area of high pressure to the north is allowing that easterly wind to strengthen further, and we'll find wind gusts quite widely of 30 to 35 miles an hour. But a lot of sunshine out there, a dry day expected, and temperatures, well, they'll be on the chilly side on the thermometer around 5 or 6 degrees, but factor in that wind chill and it will feel sub-zero. The winds moderate a little for Boxing Day, still quite breezy out there, plenty of sunshine, a bit more cloud drifting through at times, and it's looking a little less cold into the weekend.
And that's it from me. We're off tomorrow, but you can always keep up to date with the BBC News app, and I'll be back with your lunchtime news on Boxing Day. Until then, have a lovely Christmas, whatever you're up to, and stay safe. Good night.
We'll have the perfect family Christmas at Art Jones. Wow.
God, she's still got that.
Is it plastic? Didn't I just gift you that? Yes!
And could you just clean house for tear stains?
Goosey, and
I'm vegan.
I really think Amanda deserves to know. What do I deserve to know?
Other people's Christmases are mental.
Amandaland Christmas Special. Christmas Day at 9:15 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Let's have a wedding. The best wedding yet. A wedding
that no one will ever forget.
Let's make a list.
A list of the things we'll need on the day. Pink flowers.
Pink flowers?
Oh.
Follow me. What's happened to Harry?
Delighted to meet you. Forget about Harry.
Where is the scarecrow I'm planning to marry?
The Scarecrow's Wedding. Christmas Day at 3:10 on BBC One and iPlayer.
BBC One with a bear around the house. What's the worst that could happen? Too early for a turkey sandwich, but did someone say marmalade? Now you're talking.